don't have a dial tone.
Delivers and there's a ground ball to the second baseman, Kyle Arnold, who picks it up on the hop and fires to Heath Chambers to get.
No, I don't have anything yet. I want to put that thing right there.
ball to the inside. Well, I think Trey's reputation precedes him into most ball games. There was a nice hard throw by the pitcher and an equally hard swing by Trey Holloway. The count now stands at 1 ball and 1 strike. He looks down to his third base coach and head coach for a series of signs. We have a runner on second base. That would be Brad West. Nobody out. 1 ball, 1 count to Trey Holloway. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball. It's outside and in the dirt. That's 2 balls and 1 strike now.
I think Mr. Harbin wants to see if Trey would go fishing.
All righty. Trey digs in. The pitcher winds up. Here's the delivery. High fastball.
Now, most of the home folks know Trey's already signed to play college baseball next season at West Ark. I'm sure Coach Harpino is interestingly watching today's game.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Foul way back over the first base side.
That was a 3-1 count. Run it full.
Okay. Okay, here's the full count. Here's the delivery from Mr. Harbin. Inside, walk Trey Holloway. That puts the Bearcats with runners on first and second base. Nobody out.
That's Trey's 15th base on balls this year.
And standing in now will be the designated hitter, number 22, Chance Farley.
In almost the same situation in the bottom of the first last year. I'm sorry, in the top of the first. The CAC cleanup hitter dropped a 3-run bomb on Becker last year. I'd like to see a repeat of that with our designated hitter at the plate.
The first pitch to Chance Farley is high and outside for ball 1.
Not that I'm biased.
Never. Anybody but Glenn. Okay, the Bearcats are off to a good start here in the first inning. Here's the next pitch to Chance Farley. It's there on the outside corner. Looked like a fastball to me. What do you think, Glenn?
Yeah, I think it was. It broke down a little, and I think Chance just gave up on it.
1 ball, 1 strike. First and runners on first and second. Nobody out. Here's the pitch. Swing away and strike 2. We have 1 ball and 2 strikes now on the designated hitter. He looks down at third base, gets the signs from his head coach, and steps back in to face Adam Harbin. The wind-up and the pitch. It's a breaking ball, high and outside. That runs the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Chance has been a good hitter for the Bearcats all season. Comes in today hitting .405. He's held the home run lead since day 1 when he hit a home run against Mina.
Here's the pitch. Chance Farley stands and looks at strike 3. So that brings 1 out. Brings to the plate the first baseman for the Bearcats, number 27, Heath Chambers. Glenn, who leads the Bearcats this season in stolen bases?
That would be Brad West with 15.
And Brad is standing on second base with a very healthy lead. The first pitch to Heath Chambers is called strike one.
Trey has 4 stolen bases himself, if we were to start a double steal here. And Heath is hitting an even 500, so he will put the bat on the ball.
And he does so here.
And I'm glad we didn't start the runners.
Yes, indeed. He hits a lazy fly ball to the second baseman. So that is the second out of the inning, and will now bring to the plate center fielder, number 11, Ronnie Becker.
Becker's one of the 4 Bearcat pitchers on the year. He's hitting .430 at the plate.
Well, we sure could use a nice hit here with 2 out in the bottom of the first inning.
He has 6 doubles and 1 home run this year.
Here's the pitch. I must say that was a very nice pitch.
And Ronnie seldom gets
one.
cheated on his swing.
Okay, we're going to wind up and do it again. Catcher goes through his signs. Here's the next pitch from Adam Harbin to Ronnie Becker. It's a breaking ball. It's low and away. He swings and misses. Strike 2.
Coach Mann's come halfway down the line to offer his words of encouragement.
Stand in there, Ronnie. Get you a good look at this pitch. Base hit right here to go a long way towards getting the Bearcats off to their first state baseball title. High delivery to Ronnie Becker for ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Becker's one man the Bearcats love to have on base with his speed. Double play is not in order here, but he's almost impossible to double.
Here's the delivery. It's outside. He stands and watches. Ball 2. Good job, Ronnie.
Showing some patience. Fell down 0-2 and didn't chase the outside trash.
Perhaps Coach Dale Mann's encouraging words have reached Ronnie Becker. We certainly hope they have. Here comes the next pitch. It's a fast ball. It's off the hands. It's a bouncing foul ball down the first base line. So the runners will move back to first and second. Ronnie will come back to the plate, and we'll do it again.
Now you got to wonder, after going outside 2 straight pitches, he comes inside and jams him.
I think you're right. So here we go, bottom of the first inning. 2 outs, 2 men on, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Adam Harbin looks in and gets his sign, is set to deliver to the plate. Here's his pitch. It's a slow breaking pitch on the outside. It's called ball 3. Good job, Ronnie. So we have a full count now with 2 outs.
That took a lot to watch that pitch.
Runners will be moving.
2 or 3 Mustangs started breaking for the dugout. Had to get a saddle on them. Come on back, play another pitch.
All right. Here's the full count delivery to the plate. The runners are off, and it's a fastball right down the middle, and it's a swinging strikeout for Adam Harbin. Adam Harbin matches Trey Holloway with 2 strikeouts in his half of the inning, but the Booneville Bearcats pick up 2 runs on, make that 1 run on 2 hits and 1 Mustang error.
Thinks he's got the problem solved.
Well, I must say that Trey looks comfortable out there going through his series of warm-up pitches to start off the second inning.
Yeah, he's going to face a leadoff man that killed the Bearcats in this game last year. Andrew Davies playing right field. He was 2 for 4 in that game with 2 home runs and 5 RBIs.
5 RBIs and 2 home runs. Goodness.
Hit a 3-run homer in the first and a solo shot in the third.
That's a career game for a lot of athletes.
If you're talking about me, that's 3 careers.
Well, I think
If
you
I
could
get
lump me in
lucky,
that
too.
category as well. When I played, I never hit a ball over the fence, so more than 1 career for me. All right, we're going to lead off the top of the 2nd inning for the Central Arkansas Christian Mustangs. Will be the right fielder, number 21, Andrew Davies.
Jay Sage was the announced batter. I do believe the PA system just made a mistake because that is Andrew Davies to play.
That is number 21. First pitch is a ball inside.
Trey may remember that 2nd home run last year. 'Cause
Well,
it was
he
hit
is a
off of
big
him.
he is a big left-hander, this Andrew Davies. Here's the 2nd pitch from Trey Holloway. It looks like a breaking ball down the middle. Perhaps it caught the batter off guard. Perhaps he was looking for heat and got the cheese. Breaking cheese. Trey Holloway's next delivery is high, but called a strike. 1 ball and 2
Maybe
strikes
that new
now.
strike zone.
That is the new strike zone, yes. I'm sure it'll work both ways this afternoon. Here we go. Andrew Davies is swinging on the breaking pitch and hits a lazy foul ball over the 3rd base dugout.
Fought that one off.
Well, Booneville looks very well represented. There's a lot of Booneville fans out here behind the 3rd base dugout and up on the concourse. Here's the delivery from Trey Holloway. Nice breaking pitch. Looked like Mr. Andrew Davies kind of broke his stride. He hits a lazy fly ball foul down the third base line, and Jeremiah Dupree runs it down and makes an outstanding catch.
And he got a big hug from Will Swin on that play too.
All right.
All 3 were, Will, Jeremiah, and Brad West were all 3 giving chase, and Jeremiah had the only opportunity.
Coming to the plate now will be the 3rd baseman, number 27, Jay Says.
Jay Sage was also a Bearcat killer last year. He's 2 for 2 against us, walked twice and knocked in 3.
Trey fires one on the inside, called a ball.
I think we've already mentioned Jay, but Jay's also one of the Mustang pitchers. Started and won this game, the state championship game last year.
Here's the next pitch. It's fouled down in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Aubrey Boersma chases down the foul ball, picks it up. Asks for a new ball from the home plate umpire.
Aubrey Boersma's had a good year behind the plate. He's a senior stepping up for his first year when Brant Bishop moved to Yellville.
Trey delivers another pitch to the plate. It's a breaking ball, well on the outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Now the count on Jay Says.
Aubrey had one of the most important plays in this tournament in the opening round.
Trey delivers to the plate. Says hits a grounder to Swint, the scoop. He throws to first and gets him by half a step. What a play by Will Swint.
Will Swin is as fluid a shortstop as you'll find in this state. He's made 4 errors this year, but you know, playing shortstop, seeing as much action as he does, that's hardly anything to complain about.
Now coming to the plate, the big first baseman for the Mustangs, number 5, Chris Dinwiddie. Trey's first pitch, down the middle. Dinwiddie is swinging. It's a lazy foul ball down the right field line, and no one can get to it as it bounces out of play. Strike 1 to the big first baseman. Glenn, did Chris play in the last year's game?
Yes, he did. Chris was 0 for 2 in the ball game, but he reached on an error and he walked 1 time. Bearcats made 5 errors in that game. And CAC hitters were patient. They drew 9 walks off of the trio of Becker, Holloway, and Brant Bishop.
Kind of hard to win when you make 5 errors. Holloway's second pitch is a ball, breaking pitch, low and inside. He makes his next delivery, fastball. It's also low and inside, causing Dinwiddie to jump back. 2 balls and 1 strike. There are 2 outs. Here's the delivery. High and outside. That runs the count to 3 balls and 1 strike.
That's the second time in the game Trey's gone to 3 balls. He led off the game with 3 bad ones to Brian Heckman. Came back and
Here's
got
the
it.
pitch. He's swinging. It's a ground ball to shortstop Will Swint. Makes the scoop. Perfect throw to first baseman Heath Chambers to get him by 3 steps.
No runs.
No runs, no hits, no errors. Booneville leads the Central Arkansas Christian Mustangs 1-0 and will be coming to bat here in the bottom of the 2nd inning momentarily.
I apologize at this point for not having a live audio broadcast.
Do what?
Due to technical difficulties, we did not have a live audio broadcast.
I did
apologize.
in between the first and second, or in between the...
We apologize again. We're still having technical difficulties. We still do not have a live line back to Booneville for the live telecast of this ball game. Tune in this evening. I hope that you are, and if you are, then you now know why we didn't have the broadcast for you earlier. It is an outstanding ball game so far. Booneville has taken the lead 1-0 on a couple of hits in the first inning. 1 error by the Mustang left fielder. He couldn't find the ball. He dropped it. Will Swint took advantage of it, rounded third, and scored. Trey has struck out 2 of the 6 batters that he has faced so far. He's had 3 up and 3 down in each stint thus far. It's a gorgeous day here in Fayetteville. Wind still seems to be blowing. I think maybe it's changed a little bit now. What's that wind gauge say there, Glenn?
About 12. Got a lefty at the plate. Little lefty.
All right, leading off the Booneville Bearcats' 2nd inning will be the right fielder, number 1, Brad Swift.
And Brad has hit 1 home run this year. He hit it in Charleston.
First
I'm
pitch
sorry.
to Brad Swift is strike 1.
Been informed Brad has hit 2. Let's not short him.
Swift digs in, looks out at Adam Harbin. Here's the second pitch. It's high and inside. Doesn't back him off the plate one bit. Attaboy, Brad. Stand in there.
Brad is hitting an even .300 for the year. He also has 2 doubles to go with his 2 home runs. And he's knocked in 8 runs.
Here's the delivery. It's a swinging foul ball back to the screen. 1 ball, 2 strikes on the Booneville right fielder. We might add that the Booneville right fielder there, Brad Swift, is a junior. He'll be back next season.
Yeah.
The next pitch gets Brad Swift swinging. Looked kind of high and tight.
With Trey wearing a Lion uniform at Western next year, Brad's going to be counted on to do a lot of mound duty.
Coming to the plate now for the Booneville Bearcats is the catcher, number 19, Aubrey Boersma. And he has certainly been important to the team this year. First pitch is high for ball 1.
Now, we started that story in the last half inning. In the opening game of this tournament against Pocahontas, with 1 out and the tying run at third base, Trey threw a wild pitch. I'll finish it after this pitch.
Ooh, strike 1. This looked a little high and outside, but Aubrey just couldn't hold back on it.
And Aubrey retrieved the ball and threw a strike to Trey to get the runner coming from third. That was pretty much the end of the Redskins.
Outstanding play. Another pitch, high and away. Aubrey looked at it, liked it, swung, hit a foul ball over the screen.
Aubrey has 14 RBIs. He also drove in the go-ahead run in the DeQueen game in the quarterfinals. Score tied 7-7. And a runner at third, he lifted a deep sacrifice fly to center.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Another high pitch. Aubrey likes the high ones. He hits a lazy pop foul down the first base side. It is collected by the first baseman there, Chris Dinwiddie. So that brings up Kyle Arnold, the second baseman for the Bearcats, number 12. Two down.
Kyle got off the schneid in the last game. The kids have been picking on him about a 0 batting average. He's hitting a big 133 now.
Well, we might add that Kyle Arnold is the lone sophomore in the starting lineup for the Booneville Bearcats.
For either team.
We might also add that he has pitched well for the Bearcats this year and will be counted on heavily next season. First pitch to Kyle Arnold is a ball.
Yes, he has. Kyle's 4-0. He's a 2.69 ERA.
Kyle stands and looks at the next pitch, which is in the dirt for ball 2.
He had a couple of big at-bats in the DeQueen game also. Drew 2 walks that brought our leadoff man to the plate.
High and tight. 3 balls, no strikes.
Although he has come out of that slump, I've got to believe he's got a take sign here.
One would think he would. Got a 1-run lead this early in the ball game. He is looking. The pitch is high. Kyle Arnold has coaxed a walk on 4 pitches from Adam Harbin.
It's a second walk issued by Harbin.
That brings up the Nashville killer, number 5, shortstop, Will Swint.
Yeah, Nashville probably going to be glad to see Will Swint graduate. They may attend to make sure it's true. Graduation exercises are Thursday night at Bearcat Stadium.
What kind of speed do we have on the base path out there, Glenn?
Kyle's
First
deceptive.
pitch is a swinging. Will Swint hammers it into center field, but he hits it right at the center fielder. He's right on it, makes the catch. So, after 2 innings of play, there are no hits, no runs, no errors. The Booneville Bearcats still are clinging to a 1-run lead, and we move into the 3rd inning. Now, Glenn, you were saying about Kyle Arnold there as I interrupted you.
His speed's deceptive. Kyle played running back in junior high football, and he's a linebacker in senior high. He'll run you down.
Well, Trey and the Bearcats are out for the 3rd inning, getting warmed up.
Trey's going to face the bottom of the CAC order, bottom 3rd. And Drew Holbert, Matt Stagg, and John Rachels.
John Rachels is the big Mustang catcher, only a junior. The Central Arkansas Christian Mustangs have a bit of history in the state finals, do they not, Glenn?
Yes, they do. They're the of the 5 champions last year, they were the only one to make it back to the state championship game. And they've won this tournament 4 times, all of them since 1990. I didn't know till I got here, when we got the game program, that Booneville has actually played in a state championship game. According to the program, we played Clarksville in 1956.
Standing in for the Mustangs and leading off the 3rd inning will be left fielder Drew Holbert, number 23. He looks at the pitch from Trey Holloway for strike 1. Next pitch is an off-speed pitch. Catches him, looks like it fooled him. He swings and misses. The ball gets away from Boersma. He hustles out, picks it up, returns it to his pitcher. No balls, 2 strikes. Go ahead and get him, Trey. Don't waste any pitches today.
Setting up outside, right down the middle.
Oh, did he
Rung him
go?
up.
They checked his swing, and the first base umpire says, yes, he did.
Kenny Miller says, yes, you can have a seat, young man.
So, Trey Holloway picks up his 3rd strikeout. Now coming to the plate, second baseman, number 2, Matt Staggs.
Matt Stagg is a senior.
Staggs attempts to bunt. The first pitch from Holloway hits it foul back to the screen. No
You didn't
balls,
jump,
one
did you?
strike. I think that was Stacy down here jumping. He had that camera lens all over that ball. Okay, Trey is set to deliver another pitch to Aubrey. He does, and he hits a, ooh, boy, that was close. He hit one down the third base line, just foul. Jeremiah Dupree was getting ready to make a diving play. Ball
Mustang
just
coach,
rolled on the outside of the bag, thank goodness.
Coach Jerry Laird could just watch. You know, he wanted to kick it a little bit further.
That's the old toe wedge from golf, right?
Yeah. Jeremiah gave a good effort.
Here's the pitch. No balls, 2 strikes, and another foul ball. Back over the first base dugout. Trey's looked very sharp thus far. He has set the Mustangs down in order each time. Nice breaking pitch.
He
Hit the dirt, gets away from Boersma. He picks it up, fires to first. Not in time as Matt Staggs beats the throw. So a strikeout. A error on the catcher, I would guess.
I think he's going to call that a wild pitch. I wasn't sure that Mr. Staggs swung at the ball.
Looked like he waved at it as though he wanted to bunt.
Chuck Stillwell has the final vote, and he called it strike 3. And the ball's just gotten too far from Aubrey to do much with.
So that brings up the catcher, number 15, John Rachels. The runner is off on the pitch. The throw by Boersma is not in time. And the Mustangs have the first stolen base of the game. That puts a runner on second base with 1 out. The right-handed hitting John Rachels at the plate.
Mr. Stagg had some good wheels. Aubrey threw out a DeQueen runner and had another one thrown out. Everybody on the Booneville side of the field thought. But Stagg stole that easily. And this one
Trey's
gets by
next
Aubrey.
delivery is low and inside. It gets away from Aubrey Boersma, and the Mustang runner advances to third. Trey meets his catcher at the plate. They exchange a few words. Trey pats his catcher on the helmet and says, looks as if he says, don't worry about it. So the Mustangs put a runner on third base.
Interesting. Reach on a wild pitch, move up on a stolen base, and to third on a pass ball.
2 balls, no strikes. Trey looks in. Here's his pitch. Nice pitch. Yes, umpire calls it a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike.
It's a delayed strike call again.
Yes, it was. Trey really needs to bear down here. And it looks like he appears to be very determined out there.
Dale has the infield in at all 4 positions, trying to choke off his run to plate. As he figures every run is going to be hard to come by against Mr. Harbin.
Trey fires it outside, low and away, 3 balls, 1 strike. John Rachels has to be looking for a good pitch here. As Glenn said, the infield is in. Here's the next pitch and a swinging strike 2. That brings the count full. Only 1 out.
He's keeping the infield in.
Here's the pitch. Inside, it hit him, I believe it hit him on the elbow there, Glenn.
You don't like to see the 9-man hit, especially not on a 3-2 count.
Well, it hit him in the elbow, looks like. He seems to be rubbing it down there, shaking it off. Aubrey Boersma and Trey Holloway get together for a moment, try to regroup. Mustangs now have runners on first and third.
Trey hasn't made a mistake yet except for hitting the batter, and he's got runners on the corners.
What was the official ruling on that pitch a while ago, Glenn?
I did not see it. I scored it
Pass ball?
when he moved to third or when he reached.
Oh, on the strikeout.
I scored it a wild pitch.
Okay. That brings Brian Heckman to the plate, the Mustangs shortstop. Trey steps off. Looks a little disgusted, but ready to pitch. He stands back up there. Heckman stands in, looks at the first offering from Trey Holloway, and watches strike one go by on the outside corner.
Heckman grounded to Kyle Arnold at first in the first inning, leading off the ball game.
Well, the shortstop and second baseman are back. First base, third baseman are in. Here's the pitch. It's a bunt. Trey catches it in the air. He looks to first and then to third. Both runners make it back safely. Nice defensive play by Trey Holloway.
Yeah, with Heath breaking on the bunt and the ball hit that quickly, it was going to be hard for Brad to get over and cover first.
All right, that's a nice turn of events for the Bearcats. Now standing in is the center fielder, number 12, Trevor Holbert.
Trevor is 0 for 1 today. He struck out and was retired from Boardsman to Heath Chambers at first on a 2-2 pitch in the first inning.
Here's the first pitch to Trevor Holbert. Looks good. Strike one called on the outside corner. Again, the second baseman and shortstop are playing back. Third baseman is in. First baseman is in, holding the runner on. Here's the pitch to the plate. Foul ball back to the screen. No balls and 2 strikes on the center fielder for the Mustangs.
Trey's within a strike of getting out of this little jam.
And if he does, he will have recorded 3 strikeouts this inning, even though they dropped a third strike. I believe that was scored as a wild pitch. Excuse me. So here we go. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 Mustangs on the corners. And the pitch to the plate. The runner takes off. It's a chopping ball to the first baseman. Kyle Arnold is late making the cover at first base. And the Mustang runner from third scores. That would have been Matt Staggs. So the Mustangs score a run on a high bouncing ground ball fielded by the first baseman, Heath Chambers. And Kyle Arnold gets there just a little bit late, and I'm not sure the throw would have beaten him anyway.
They scored that a base hit. It was going to be tough to get Trevor Holbert. He just pounded it in the ground.
So, John Rachels moves to second on the play. The Mustangs have runners on first and second. Now batting will be the designated hitter, number 3, Scott Vincent. He stands in and fouls the first pitch back to the screen.
Vincent is also 0 for 1. He struck out in the first inning.
Second pitch off speed, but down the middle, and the designated hitter waves at it for strike 2.
I do believe Mr. Vincent is a little bit mystified by Trey Holloway. I hope I don't eat that with this next pitch. But
I hope not to. He looks in at Aubrey, gets his sign, is set to deliver. Here it comes. It's a fastball. And the umpire calls it strike 3 on the inside corner. So Scott Vincent is now 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, 1 swinging and 1 looking. The Booneville Bearcats come in to bat now. They have given up 1 run. 1 run on 1 hit.
No errors, and there were 2 men left aboard. Yeah, you know, Trey's, you're going to have an inning like that. Trey didn't, he really didn't make a bad pitch. The ball never left the infield.
That's right. You hate to give up a run like that, a fielded ball, but, well, it's just an old ball player was given the nickname of hit 'em where they ain't, and that was Wee Willie Keeler. And that chopping ground ball was hit high.
We can charge that run to AstroTurf.
It was a well-played ball by Heath Chambers.
Yeah, Heath played
He
ball.
caught the ball, he made the throw, but you've got to give the Mustang runner a bit of credit. He just beat it.
Coach Mann's having a conversation with Brad West and Trey Holloway, the first two hitters in this inning. Chance Farley joins for a moment. The Bearcats are attempting to make it a 3-for-4 day, and what I mean by that is 3 wins by District 4 in the state championship. Earlier today, Scranton beat Taylor to win the Single A state championship. They're from District 4A, and preceding this one, Lavaca beat Rector. And Lavaca, of course, is a member of the 4AA conference.
Leading off the Bearcat third will be left fielder number 23, Brad West.
Brad singled in the first and moved up when the left fielder, Trevor Holbert, misplayed the ball.
First pitch is high for ball 1.
Of course, that also plated the lone Bearcat run. And Will Swint scored all the way from first. That could be
Adam
trouble.
Harbin delivers to the plate.
That is trouble.
Brad West hits the ball. It looks like it bounces almost into the stands down the right field line. It's a sure double. West, with his speed, stretches it to a triple.
Brad West is the swiftest of feet of the Bearcats.
Now coming to the plate for the Booneville Bearcats, the pitcher, number 7, Trey Holloway. Trey Holloway leads the team this year in RBIs.
That phone call, David, was your wife. She says hi.
He has 34 on the season, and here is a good opportunity for the Bearcats. I hope my wife was informing us that Ashton and she are fine.
She was trying to find the ball game on the radio, on the television, rather.
Here's the first pitch to Trey Holloway. He swings and fouls it back over the screen and out of play.
There's no doubt this is who you'd want up in this situation, needing to drive in a run to take the lead. As you alluded to, Trey does lead the team in RBIs, as well as most other offensive categories.
Off-speed pitch, low and away, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Trey Holloway. I guess you informed them of our technical difficulties.
Yes, I did.
Next pitch, it looked like a hard-breaking pitch. Outside. 2 balls and a strike. Now the count.
Trey has an unbelievable eye for the strike zone. Of course, as many balls as he's seen this year.
Trey digs in, has a nice rip at the next pitch and fouls it back. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Trey's had an outstanding year. Just follows up last year. Another outstanding season. Just an outstanding athlete for Booneville. Here's the pitch. Holloway swings, sends a ground ball up the middle. The shortstop scoops, throws to first, pulls him off the bag at first. Trey beats the throw, and Brad Swift scores on the play. So the Booneville Bearcats retake the lead 2-1 on a single to the shortstop.
The official book scored that an error.
Sure did.
That an error on the shortstop. Trey gets an RBI on the play because the infield was back and the run would have scored anyway. Matter of fact, they were making no attempt to hold West at third. So that is Trey's 35th RBI of the season.
And that brings up the designated hitter, Chance Farley.
Farley, as you may know, is hitting for Jeremiah Dupree.
First pitch down the middle. Chance takes a look at it. Strike 1.
Chance in the first inning looked at strike 3 from Mr. Harbin. That kind of started the end of what looked like a good series of events. The Bearcats had 2 on and no one out and ended up stranding both runners.
Second pitch is a slow breaker. Catches Chance a little off stride. He's out in front. A swing and a miss.
Chance hits himself in the head.
1 ball, 1 strike to the big designated hitter. Trey Holloway leads off first. We have nobody out. It's a ground ball to the second baseman. He scoops, throws to the shortstop covering. In time for the double play, the throw from short to first. So Chance grounds into a double play, a 4-6-3 double play.
Doing the TV broadcast. I gotta go.
And that's going to bring up the big Bearcat first baseman, number 27, Heath Chambers.
Heath popped a second in the first inning. He's 0 for 1 today. He came into the ball game hitting 500. Heath has just had a phenomenal turnaround.
First pitch has Heath swinging. He hits a high fly ball down the right field line. The Mustang camps under it and makes the final catch. Makes the catch for the final out of the inning. So Booneville picks up 1 run on 1 hit and 1 error. After 3 innings, the Bearcats lead the Mustangs 2-1. That was good to see, wasn't it, Glenn, the way Booneville came back and reclaimed the lead. They gave up that 1 run previously.
Yeah, that's what you know. You have to do that. When they get one, you have to answer.
Coach Dale Mann gets his Razorbacks, gets his Bearcats and huddles them up down there near the third base coach's box before sending them out. This is what they've played for all year, folks, to get to the state championship ball game. And what an amazing group of kids Booneville has had this year. The football team won the 3A state championship. The boys now are in the 3A state baseball championship. And how about the Lady Cats, Glenn? They had an outstanding season of their own, did they not?
Yeah, we were speaking of turnarounds with Heath a while ago. Talk about a turnaround from 4-14 to 18-4. They were the 3rd place team out of the region, qualified for the state tournament, lost in the 2nd round to Lone Oak. And it's interesting to note the 1st and 2nd place teams out of that region played for the state championship today over at Lady Backyard.
Quite a stiff competition there.
Yes, it is. And also on their schedule was Mina, who last year was a conference opponent, that had started playing fast pitch a year or 2 earlier, and Northside.
I don't mean to single out any of the ball players. Certainly it takes a team effort. But how about that Chancery Catlett? 18-4 on the season, and Tara Wall hitting 500 on the season. Phenomenal.
Yeah, and both of those are sophomores.
Amazing.
Coach Beckham had 9 sophomores on that softball team this year. And he's got a good group coming up.
Okay, leading off the top of the 4th inning for the Central Arkansas Christian Mustangs, the big the big right fielder, Andrew Davies, number 21.
Well, that was a nasty pitch.
Inside and called a strike. Thank you, Glenn.
Just froze Mr. Davies at the plate.
Well, I must say, he stands there looking frozen on the 2nd pitch. Looked like off speed, low and away. And based on last year's results, if someone is going to be frozen at the plate, I would hope it's this guy. Didn't he hit the 2 home runs last year?
Yes, he did.
Takes a low breaking pitch, low and inside, and sends one out to center fielder, Ronnie Becker. Ball, he made a running effort at it as he comes in. The ball bounces out of his glove. So it'll be an error on the center fielder, Ronnie Becker, and Andrew Davies will be on first base.
I think Ronnie broke back initially, but with his speed, he had plenty of time and did get there.
Well, that ball was up there a while. The skies were just partly cloudy.
Yeah,
Perhaps the sun may have had something to do with that. Then again, he might have caught it about the time his foot hit the ground, and it could have jarred the ball loose. So standing in now will be 3rd baseman Jay Says with a runner on first.
Jay Says is also a dangerous hitter.
First pitch, he hits a little squibber over to the first base dugout, strike 1.
Jay Says is a very good athlete. I was talking down state tournament, and some of the CAC fans were saying, they couldn't believe anyone would ask, what's wrong with Jay? He's got, I think, 2 of the 3 CAC losses. And most guys would love to have the career he's had.
Here's the pitch from Holloway, swinging, strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Jay Says, the 3rd baseman for the Mustangs. Andrew Davies leading off first base.
Trey's got him set up at 0-2.
0-2, I'm sorry. Off-speed pitch, catches him out front, but he gets a piece of it and fouls it back. Well, the wind is still blowing from left field all the way over to right field. Perhaps that's why we've had so many plays down the right field line. Here's Holloway's pitch. Says swings, hits a high fly ball to right field. It again is down the line. Swift camps under it, makes the catch, bluffs a throw to first. Andrew Davies is back safely. So Says flies out to the right fielder. That will be one out. That'll bring up the big first baseman for the Mustangs, Chris Dinwiddie.
That makes Jay Says 0 for 2 in today's game. Chris Dinwiddie comes into this about 0 for 1. Grounded out to Will Swint in the second inning.
Dinwiddie takes a long time looking at head coach Jerry Laird for the signs. He stands in. Inside fastball. Ball one. Again, he spends a lot of time looking at head coach Jerry Laird. He stands in now for the pitch. The runner takes off. Ground ball right up the middle to Swint. Steps on second base for the force and throws to first base for the double play. How about that, Will Swint?
Well, we finally got one back. That exact same thing happened to the Bearcats against Nashville. Started the runner. Chance Farley, I believe it was, hit the ball straight to the second baseman who broke the cover. And that'll answer the CAC double play from the top half of the inning.
So the Mustangs left one man on. Picked up no hits. And more importantly, no runs. Bearcats still lead 2-1. Here coming to bat in the bottom of the fourth inning will be Ronnie Becker, Brad Swift, Aubrey Boersma. Hopefully we'll see more Bearcats. Right, Glenn?
Right. There was no one left on base in that inning. We erased him on the double play.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I know you want to get it right.
Why not? We don't want anybody
And we were
bearing
afraid
down
we'd
on us
embarrass
back
the
home.
school.
In fact, we'd like to do this year after year, wouldn't we, Glenn?
Yeah, we would. I'll make a date to be here next year if you want to be here.
Oh, indeed I would.
Of course, all bets are off if this is two teams I don't like, which is...
Well, we are still having the technical difficulties, as our good friend Stacy McCullough tells us. Next year, though, he assures us that the phone line problem will be worked out. If the Bearcats are in the state final, we'll have a phone line.
You heard it here first.
Standing in for the Booneville Bearcats, leading off the bottom of the fourth, Ronnie Becker.
Becker's 0 for 1 this afternoon.
First pitch, just over his head, ball one. Sure would be nice, Ronnie, to pick out a good one here and send one solidly up against the wall somewhere. Ronnie has on the season hit one over the fence. Next pitch, Ronnie's all over that, hits a hard, long foul ball down the left field line. There are some bleachers set up out there, and it's over those bleachers.
Yeah, Ronnie's hit one home run this year. He hit it in Harrison, against Paris in the regional finals. At that time, the Bearcats trailed 4-2, and it was a 3-run bomb that gave them a lead they never gave back.
Here's the pitch. Ronnie again swings, sends a high chopper to the second baseman, who picks it up and throws.
Coach
Just gets Ronnie Becker at first. Well, that big first baseman needed all of his 6'3" to dig that one out, wouldn't you say, Glenn?
Yeah, he did. Coach Holloway cannot believe it. From our vantage point, I was afraid he got him.
It looked close. Now standing in for the Booneville Bearcats, number 1, right fielder, Brad Swift.
Brad was a strikeout victim his first time up today in the second inning. Came into today's game hitting .300 with 2 home runs and 8 RBIs.
First pitch, swinging strike. Strike one. Brad stands back in. Here's the delivery from Adam Harbin. It's inside. Looked like it might have hit him on the ankle, but Brad is not limping, so I guess it didn't. 1 ball, 1 strike. Brad's first time at bat, he took one high and in. He didn't back off the plate at all, and he's right back in over that inside corner. Next pitch, strike 2 called on the outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
That appeared to be a little outside, but again, our votes count not.
Brad stands in. Here's the pitch. It's down the middle, and he sends it up the middle, but the second baseman is there, makes the 1-hop throw to the first baseman, who just makes a good dig there.
Coach Holloway's not as demonstrative in his disbelief this time, but he's still in amazement.
That brings up the Booneville catcher, number 19, Aubrey Boersma.
Matt Staggs made 2 good plays in this inning for CAC. Maybe we ought to hit it somewhere else.
Good idea. Come on, Aubrey. First pitch, breaking pitch, a little high. Seemed like Aubrey liked those high pitches
Yes,
the
it
first
is.
time up.
And he fouled out to the first baseman. He's 0 for 1 today.
Next pitch looked low and away, but the umpire calls it strike 1. So 1 ball, 1 strike on the Booneville catcher. He's had a outstanding season for Booneville. Really been an important part of this team.
And he's in a hole now, 1 and 2.
1 ball and 2 strikes.
You'd like to see Aubrey get aboard and get Kyle to the plate. That way he can lead off. Or get Will to the plate as well in this inning.
Here's the pitch. It's low and away. The
He held
umpire looks down at the first base umpire. They say Aubrey
Kenny
checked
Miller
his
agrees.
swing. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
And you see the rally caps are kids with 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
Shaking their hats back and forth. Another breaking pitch, low and away, and Aubrey just watches it go by. Full count.
They was doing that the other night in the DeQueen game. They accused me of not getting my hat back on in time. The next kid reached.
I think the Booneville crowd has grown down there. Here's the next pitch. It's inside. The umpire calls it a strike. Aubrey doesn't look too pleased with that. Nevertheless, he trots back to the dugout to retrieve his catcher's gear.
That's a pretty difficult inning. Coach Holloway thought we had 1, if not both, runners safe at first, and Aubrey don't think he's out at the plate.
Well, from my vantage point, and I look a little closer to the plate than you, that looked inside. I will agree with Aubrey if he's a little upset.
Yeah, I agree with Aubrey.
So
Matt
after 4
Isis
innings of play, the
coming out
score,
to
Booneville Bearcats 2, the Central Arkansas Christian Mustangs 1.
This is about the kind of game we expected. You're not going to get a lot of runs with Trey Holloway on the mound, and CAC is noted for its pitching staff as well. Now Trey's had 1 bad inning this year. Most guys would like to get through a career with the numbers he's had in this season alone.
Well, what kind of numbers does Trey Holloway bring to this game, Glenn?
Coming in, Trey had pitched 67 innings. In those 67 innings, he'd walked 13. He struck out 125. So, you're almost at a 10-to-1 ratio. He'd given up 8 earned runs for an ERA of 0.84. In tournament play, you expect some of your numbers to rise. But in the 3 tournament games, Trey's ERA is 0.88.
Wow. Phenomenal consistency.
And in this tournament, he has 2 wins and a save, with 28 strikeouts before today, and he'd given up 5 hits before today, which he's given up 1 hit today.
Okay, leading off the top of the 5th for the Mustangs will be left fielder, number 23, Drew Holbert. He looks at the first pitch for a ball.
Drew Holbert's 0 for 1 today. He struck out in the 2nd inning. He led off that inning when CAC got his lone run on an infield hit.
Here's the pitch down the middle. He swings and sends a foul ball down the right field side. It's out of play. Giving chase, Heath Chambers, Kyle Arnold, and Brad Swift. They were all there. Shame that ball couldn't have been in play. 1 ball, 1 strike now. Glenn, you were saying about Trey's stats on the season. What kind of record is he sporting coming into this game?
Trey's 11-1. His career mark now is 28-6 coming into today.
Holbert swings and misses at the off-speed delivery from Trey Holloway. Brings the count now to 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Knowing Trey like I do, the next statement I'm going to make won't matter to him, but a win today would tie him with Brandon Rowland for most wins in a career.
Here is the pitch. It's hit solidly into the right field gap. Swift is there, picks up the ball on 2 hops and brings it into Arnold, who relays it on in to Will Swint at second. So Drew Holbert hits a solid single to right field.
That's the hardest hit ball CAC's had today. Matt Stagg is the little culprit for the lone CAC run. He reached on a third strike wild pitch, stole second, moved up on a pass ball, and scored on an infield single by Trevor Holbert.
And he stands in now, Matt Stagg, second baseman. First pitch, he tries to put down a bunt. He fouls it back. No balls, 1 strike. Runner on first for the Mustangs. Glenn, did you get it in a while ago? How many victories Brandon has?
Oh yeah, he has 20. Brandon had 29 in his 3 years at Booneville High School. Trey now has 28. Like I said, the 29th today, I'm sure he would look back on it in years and be fond of, but he'd be more fond of a second ring this season.
How many athletes get more than 1 state ring in a season? He tries to bunt again, hits a foul ball. Aubrey's on his horse. He collides into the wall, and he can't hold on as he drops the ball. But an outstanding effort by Aubrey Boersma. I tell you, he is a scrapper.
Aubrey gave it all he had. He ran into the ball restraint. Usually a ball boy sits behind there during Razorback games. It's a good thing there was no one sitting there then.
Yes, it was. Made a phenomenal play in that Pocahontas game, which sent Booneville further into the playoffs to play the Queen. So we have no balls, 2 strikes on 2 bunt attempts. Here's the pitch. It's in the dirt. Good block by Boersma. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Matt Staggs. Standing on first, left fielder Drew Holbert.
Holbert's got a conservative lead. That's a nice move from Trey.
Holbert gets back in safely.
That's
his
not his good move.
Second attempted throw over there.
Yeah.
I think the first one was just more of a, my eye is on you, I know you're there. Trey looks at the plate, throws, inside, ball 2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out. Need to bear down out there, Bearcats. Pitch to the plate. Outside, that runs it to a full count.
Trey.
You've got to feel that the runner would be going here.
I don't know, no one down. You're down a run. Hate to run yourself out of an inning with a strike 'em out, throw 'em out. But Coach Laird may be a gambler.
He was not going, and he sends 1 foul over the first base dugout on the pitch. Still a full count. We'll do it again.
And Holbert's not getting the biggest of leads.
Here's the pitch to the plate. He swings late. Sends 1 foul down the first base line. I'm glad to see it was foul.
Yeah, that had trouble.
We've had an awful lot of balls hit down that right field line today. Wind is still blowing from the left to the right.
David Warman in the CAC bullpen is the big right fielder, Andrew Davies.
Might we see a pitching change shortly? Holloway's delivery to the plate has Staggs swinging, and he sends another foul ball back over the first base side.
This little guy's been a thorn in our side.
And continues to battle. The Bearcats don't look to be giving any. Dupree is in at third. Here's the pitch from Holloway. Stagg swings, hits the ball out into right field, a solid single. Swift comes up with the one hopper and delivers it to the second baseman, or to second base, where Will Swint takes the throw. So, Matt Staggs hits a solid single to right field, which sends Drew Holbert to third. There is nobody out. Runners now on first and third. And coming to the plate will be the catcher, junior John Rachels, number 15.
Rachels was hit by a pitch in the third inning on a full count. So you got to believe Trey wasn't throwing at him in that predicament. He already had a runner at third.
Okay, the infield is in. Again, runners on first and third. There are no outs. Trey looks in and gets the sign. He winds up and delivers. The runner takes off from first to third, or to second. Boersma's throw, a one hopper. Staggs is in with the stolen base. Holbert stays on the throw.
That's his second of the day and takes the Bearcats out of a good possibility of a double play.
The pitch was called a ball. So first base is open. The infield is in. And here's the pitch to the plate. Down the middle. Strike one. Like to see some more of that. Trey started this ball game with 2 strikeouts in the first. Picked up 2 more strikeouts in the third, and since then hasn't recorded another. One here sure would be good. Nice breaking pitch from the lefty. Sends John Rachels to the dugout.
That was a nasty pitch.
Must have been a ball and 2 strike count, I'm sorry.
Trey actually had 3 strikeouts in that third inning because the one hitter reached.
That's
and
right.
That will be 6 for the day.
That's right.
And 131 for the year.
Now coming to the plate, the shortstop, Brian Heckman.
Trey has kept Heckman in check. Like I said last
Nice pitch from Holloway, called a strike.
Wednesday night, Heckman had 3 hits and helped CAC do in Truman.
That's what we needed, Trey, a strikeout. We sure could use a few more, get back in that dugout and keep our 1-run lead. Here's the pitch.
Oh.
He reaches out and slaps at the ball, sends one foul over the third base side. Dupree gives chase. It one hops into the stands. So no balls and 2 strikes on the Mustang shortstop.
Heckman is 0 for 2 today. He grounded out in the first and popped up to Trey on the mound trying to bunt.
Here's the pitch. It's the heat. It gets him swinging. Trey Holloway bearing down. He has struck out the last 2 hitters he's faced. The Mustangs have runners on second and third. Let's not stop here. Coming in now will be the center fielder, number 12, Trevor Holbert. I assume his brother is standing on third.
They're both juniors. You'd have to believe they're twins. Trevor's 1 for 2 with the 1 RBI that
The first pitch has Holbert swinging. He sends one out to right field, but Swift is right there for the catch.
Good job of pitching by Trey Holloway.
And the Booneville Bearcats come in after looks like 2 hits. The Central Arkansas Christian Mustangs leave 2 on base. They get no runs. No errors by the Booneville Bearcats, and Booneville comes to bat in the bottom of the 5th inning, still holding a 2-1 lead.
Due up for the Cats in this inning are Kyle Arnold, Will Swint, and Brad West, and if anyone reaches, Mr. Holloway. Let's get a pause.
We're going to pause right now for station identification.
God, I've been wanting to take that off for 2 innings. I've been about to die of thirst.
Okay, we're back here at George Cole Field at Baum Stadium.
They're playing Sweet Home Alabama on the radio.
Leading off the bottom of the 5th inning for the Booneville Bearcats is the second baseman, number 12, Kyle Arnold.
Kyle drew a walk in the 2nd inning.
Kyle takes the first pitch on the outside corner for strike 1.
That is the first pitch Kyle has seen today, or first strike Kyle has seen today. That 2nd inning walk was on 4 pitches.
Next pitch from Adam Harbin is high. 1 ball, 1 strike. As Glenn alluded to earlier, the Mustangs had Andrew Davies warming up in the bullpen, but they have not brought him in.
Yeah.
Here's the next pitch. It's high and away. 2 balls, 1 strike to Kyle Arnold. Kyle looks down at his head coach, gets a series of signs from Coach Dale Mann, and looks back out at Adam Harbin. Here's the pitch. Right down the middle. Looked low. 3 balls, 1 strike on Kyle Arnold. As Glenn said, he reached on a walk earlier.
I'm convinced too many people know my cell phone number. Lots of fans not at the game today.
Kyle Arnold hits the next delivery down to the 3rd base line. The umpire called it foul, but whoo, boy, that was close. It could have bounced over the bag.
Too
Kyle
bad it didn't hit the bag.
3 balls, 2 strikes. That Glenn Parrish's cell phone number is 264. What was that? What was that? Who's doing that?
Oh. That's what I need, is another phone call.
Call us up. Let us know how we're doing. Glenn, I think the Bearcat fans have increased down there. Maybe they were all at the concession earlier. Here's the delivery from the Mustang hurler. It's a strike down the middle as Kyle Arnold swings and misses.
Well, as you may know, it's graduation day up here at the university today, and there were 12 Booneville students graduating with degrees. So, you know, there's some fans that may have been a little preoccupied.
Now standing in, Will Swint, shortstop for the Booneville Bearcats. Made some outstanding plays in the field. Scored the first run of the game for Booneville.
Will's
Hit a
1 for 2.
fly ball to the center fielder last time. We have 1 ball, no strikes. Next pitch is high as Will looks at it, steps out, looks down at head coach Dale Mann, gets the signs. You got to feel he's being told to hit away here.
And we need base runners.
2 balls, no strikes. Next pitch down the center. Will swings and misses.
Will, like I said earlier, is one of those that he's at his best come crunch time. His batting average has actually climbed since postseason began.
Here's the pitch. Swint kind of reaches out over the plate. Hits a fly ball, fielded by the 3rd baseman as he slides down, making the catch. Perhaps the wind blew it a little bit.
Jay Sage may have lost that ball. He made a sliding catch.
So Will Swint hits a fly ball to the 3rd baseman for out number 2. That brings up left fielder, number 23, Brad West.
Brad West 2 for 2 today. He singled in the first ball that was misplayed and allowed Will Swint to score, and he tripled down the line in the 3rd inning and scored on a on a grounder hit by Trey Holloway that was also misplayed for an error.
First pitch to Brad West is a ball. Here's the 2nd pitch. It's high and inside. It's called a strike by the umpire. 1 ball, 1 strike. Just a bit inside, I thought.
Strike zone seems to be fluctuating.
Perhaps it's expanding here. Next pitch has Brad West swinging and sending a foul ball back over the screen. I think Stacy could have caught that one if we didn't have this roof over our heads.
Yeah, Stacy looks like a Gold Glover.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Brad West as he stands in, looks back out at the Mustang hurler. Here's the pitch. He reached out, fouled one over to the first base side. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
It would be nice to get Brad aboard. He is our stolen base leader. And
yes, it would, and that would bring up
Trey Holloway,
the big man, Trey Holloway. Actually, Booneville has more than one big man. Chance Farley leads the team with home runs. Trey leads the team in RBIs. The pitch is a ball high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Brad West looking for a good pitch here. He swings at a high one, sends a foul ball. It's in play for the catcher. He camps under it and makes the third out. Makes the catch for the third out. So there were no runs, no hits, and no errors. Booneville still has a 2-1 lead as we move into the top of the 6th inning. The Mustangs
clipping along.
Yes, it is. Mustangs and the Bearcats each huddle around their head coaches to receive words of encouragement. And the Bearcats head out to their positions, and the Mustangs get ready to come to bat. They are going to be sending to the plate in the top of the 6th inning the designated hitter Scott Vincent, right fielder Andrew Davies, and third baseman Jay Says, unless they change some strategy.
It's not likely with those 3 due up, especially Davies and Says. This is a big inning. If Trey can get through this one, you've got to like his chances.
Yes.
Trey's thrown a great game. Through 5 innings, he's given up 3 hits and 1 run. It's unearned. You've almost got news if Trey gives up earned runs.
Well, looking out in the Booneville crowd, I see a Boys and Girls Club shirt. That's something that the town of Booneville, some citizens there, have been trying to get a Boys and Girls Club formed and established. It appears to be going well, as opening day is scheduled for June the 1st. So everyone come out and support the local Boys and Girls Club.
June the 1st is not far off.
Coming to the plate, leading off the top of the 6th for the Mustangs, Scott Vincent, the designated hitter. He looks out at Trey Holloway, who seems determined as he throws a strike past Mr. Vincent.
Scott Vincent's 0 for 2 today. He struck out swinging in the 1st and looking to end the 3rd inning.
I don't know of another way to strike out, but 0 for 3 with 3 Ks would look good to the Booneville Bearcats.
Yeah, he's wearing a 3. I'd like to see a 3. That is the first ball Vincent has had today. He struck out on 0-2 in both the 1st and the 3rd.
Must have been low because the location sure looked good from up here. Trey brings in pitch number 3. Vincent swings, sends a foul ball back over the first base side. A ball, 2 strikes. Well, the Bearcats look pretty lively. Most of the team standing out on the top step of the dugout. A lot of them are really seeing history. The next pitch is inside and rings up Mr. Vincent.
That's a hat trick.
Another strikeout for Trey Holloway. How many is that now, Glenn?
And that would be 8 of those.
8 Ks and 5 and a third.
And I yell at the guy on TV when he doesn't know the answer.
Standing in now, right fielder Andrew Davies. He hits a hard ball deep to right field, but Brad Swift is going back, makes the catch. 2 fine catches in right field by Brad Swift. The Bearcats are looking sharper and sharper.
That makes Andrew Davies 0 for 3, which is a far cry from that pounding he issued Bearcat pitchers last year.
Now standing in, third baseman Jay Says.
Says comes in 0 for 2. He's grounded out to Will Swin at short, and he fouled out to Brad Swift.
Holloway's first pitch has Says swinging. He sends a foul ball down the third base line.
Yeah, I think Mr. Says just showed us he can use the whole field. He's been all over it today.
Brad West retrieves that ball out in left field, throws it into Will Swint. Umpire wants to see it. Holloway gets a new ball.
Ronnie Becker has him shaded just a little towards left.
The next pitch is low and on the outside corner, called strike 2. Jay Says looks at the umpire, little concerned. It's there, Mr. Says, says the umpire. Here's Holloway's delivery to the plate. Has Says swinging and missing for strike 3.
Number 9.
Holloway gets his 9th strikeout. You've got to like the chances of the Booneville Bearcats. They're looking sharper and sharper. The innings are getting quicker.
Trey, through 6 innings now, has thrown 86 pitches. It's pretty economical work.
So after 5.5 innings, the Booneville Bearcats lead 2-1. Central Arkansas Christian has scored 1 run, that run coming in the 3rd inning. They have 3 hits. They've committed 2 errors. The Bearcats have scored 2 runs, 1 in the 1st, 1 in the 3rd. They also have 3 hits and have had 1 error. The big hitter for Booneville thus far has been Brad West.
Yes, it has. Brad has a single in the 1st and a triple in the 3rd. The single resulted eventually in a run because it was misplayed for an error by the left fielder, and the triple he scored on a grounder by Trey Holloway, who just happens to be coming up.
Leading off the Bearcats' 6th inning will be the pitcher, Trey Holloway. Also to come, Chance Farley and Heath Chambers. Glenn, I think you have an interesting story to share about Heath Chambers and his hitting.
I'm afraid Heath may know I'm trying to share that story. He's seen 3 pitches and hit 2 of them. No, Heath had a long season last year. His batting average was fairly low, and Coach
standing in, I'm sorry, Glenn, to speak
that's all
over
right.
you.
We need to get going.
We have Trey Holloway standing in now, looking out at Adam Harbin, waiting the first pitch. Give him something he can drive, Mr. Harbin. Here's the pitch. It's off speed, low and away, ball 1. Go ahead, Glenn.
All right, let's get this first. Trey comes in 0 for 1. He reached on an error, drove in a run with that grounder, and has walked.
Holloway takes a hard rip at the next delivery, and he sends a foul ball down the right field side out of play.
Coach Mann was trying to get Heath to make a batting stance adjustment, and Heath just seemed to not believe he was hitting like that, or you know, hard to accept.
Next pitch has Holloway swinging hard, sending a hard ground ball to the shortstop, who throws high, and Holloway is there. The first baseman was pulled off the bag. Holloway is safe. Probably going to be an error on the throw from the shortstop. E6, that'll be the 2nd time in a row that Trey has reached on an error by the shortstop. No matter how you get on, we'll take it.
Unfortunately, the last time up, Chance hit into a double play. It was started by Matt Stagg at 2nd base.
Now standing in for the Bearcats, the designated hitter, Chance Farley, number 22. He gets his signs from Coach Dale Mann at 3rd base.
And
Trey
this man
leads
can
off
hit.
of first. The first pitch is called for a strike on the outside corner. Trey Holloway leads off of first, where his father, Gerald Holloway, is the assistant coach for the Bearcats.
We're going to finish this Chambers story before we go off the air.
All right, here's the pitch. Farley looks at it. Must have been low. Ball 1, strike
Farley
1.
obviously has good eyes.
Yes.
Anyway, Coach Mann filmed every one of his hitters in batting practice. Brought Heath in and said, I want you to look at what you're doing. And he said the look on his face was priceless.
Farley takes a pitch. It's rather high, swing, sends a high fly ball down the left field line. And the left fielder camps under it and makes the catch. Holloway returns to first base. So that'll be the first out for the Booneville Bearcats. And here comes Heath Chambers, the first baseman that Glenn is telling us all about.
Anyway, and he gets to Heath and he says, Heath looks at him and looks at the tape and says, you mean I'm doing that? Ever since then, Heath has been on a tear. Coming into today's game, he was one of only 2 Bearcats hitting 500. The other, of course, was Trey Holloway. And Heath was at an even 500.
Chambers stands in, takes the first pitch high and outside, ball 1. Now would be a prime opportunity to advance the base runner.
Yes, it would. And Dale likes to hit and run. And like I said, Heath will most likely put the bat on the ball.
Holloway stands off the base, doesn't go on the pitch, and Chambers sends a long, long foul ball down the right field side.
He's 0 for 2 today. He popped out to second in the first inning and flew to right in the third. We've seen a well-pitched game by Mr. Harbin as well, it bears mentioning.
Chambers hits the next delivery back up the middle. Harbin is a little off balance as he fields the throw and throws to second base. Pulls the fielder off the bag. He's safe at second, safe at first. That's some of the luck that the Bearcats need.
You got to get one before you get two.
Well put, Mr. Parrish. That puts the Booneville Bearcats with runners on first and second with one out.
We're getting a pinch runner for Heath Chambers.
That looks like number 2, Chad Haller. Coach Jerry Laird of the Central Arkansas Christian Mustangs comes out and wants to talk to his pitcher as well as his entire infield. Home plate umpire begins slowly walking out towards the pitcher's mound, kicks a little bit of dirt, pauses. Perhaps he's going to let them discuss it. Coach Holloway and Coach Mann come down the lines near the ump. Say, hey, let's get this moving, Holloway says. And the umpire walks out now. He's going to have to get there. Coach Dale Mann is talking to the Booneville center fielder, Ronnie Becker, who will be standing in now to face Adam Harbin with runners on first and second and one out.
Bunt here could be in order because, like I said earlier, Ronnie Becker can fly. And we've got a pinch runner for Chambers on the first, I think we mentioned, is Chad Haller. He has good wheels, and then it's Trey Holloway out at second base.
So here we go, the first pitch to Ronnie Becker. Fastball down the middle, low, ball one. So with 1 ball and no strikes, this could be an opportunity for a hit and run. We'll see what Coach Mann has on. Holloway is not running, but Becker squares to bunt and sends a foul ball towards the first base side.
There's the bunt I was looking for.
1 ball and 1 strike.
Coach Mann does like to play little ball. He also likes to play long ball with Trey Holloway in his lineup and Chance Farley. But a run here would be huge.
Well, let's not leave Heath Chambers out of that long ball either. He has 3 home runs on the season.
As a team, I think the count is at 23.
Ronnie Becker takes the next pitch, swings inside fastball. He does not connect. 1 ball and 2 strikes now the count. 1 out. Runners on first and second. I doubt he'll have him doing anything but swinging away here. And he does. He swings hard, sends a high fly ball to the third baseman who shields his eyes from the sun. Makes the catch in foul ground. The Booneville runners are standing on their bags. So that's 2 down, and now coming to the plate for the Booneville Bearcats is right fielder Brad Swift.
Boy, I'd hate to get 2 errors in this inning and not get anything out of it. Brad Swift started that lone run rally to beat Nashville Wednesday night with a double leading off the 7th inning. He doubled to the opposite field.
First pitch is high and outside to Brad Swift, ball 1. Standing on deck, the scrappy Booneville catcher Aubrey Boersma.
Waiting in the wings are the Malvern Leopards and the Nettleton, whatever the Nettletons are.
Brad Swift steps out almost on cue as though he heard Glenn Parrish say that. Walks towards third base head
I do
coach
believe the
Dale
Nettleton
Mann.
are the Raiders.
The Nettleton Raiders. Class 4A game to follow this one.
And following that one will be the Pine Bluff Zebras and the Russellville Cyclones.
All right. Brad Swift comes back to the plate. Here's the second pitch. I have 1 ball to Brad Swift.
So do I. The board has no count.
It's low. 2 balls and no strikes to Brad Swift. Brad is just a junior. Looks to be about 5'8".
I don't know if time. Yeah, the scoreboard has been corrected. It says 2-0 now.
Has a small strike zone out there. It would be nice to get Adam Harbin.
The runner's break.
Swift. The runner's break on the pitch. A ground ball is hit to the third baseman, Brad Swift.
He
Apparently
thought it was
must have been a foul ball as he stayed in the batter's box. And the throw beats him. And that'll be it for the Bearcats in the bottom of the 6th inning. That was tough to take.
Yes, it was.
Booneville squanders an opportunity, leaving 2 runners on. Holloway and Chad Haller were breaking on the pitch, but they will not get anything out of that inning. So on 2 errors, they leave 2 on base. They do not score. We move to the top of the 7th inning, where the Mustangs will be sending Chris Dinwiddie, the big first baseman, to the plate.
Dinwiddie so far is 0 for 2. He's grounded out to Will Swint at short and grounded into a double play started by Will Swint at short. So Will Swint might be ready. Well, this is what you play for. 3 outs and it's all yours.
Well, it sure is. If there is an opportunity for a 7th inning stretch, I guess it would have to have come between the last inning and this one.
We missed it.
We did miss it. Looks like the crowd over here behind the Booneville dugout gets more and more packed. I guess the concession stands are either running out of items or the Booneville fans are not hungry any longer. Hungry for titles. Aubrey takes the final warm-up from Trey Holloway, fires a strike down to second base. They throw it around the horn, and we're getting set to start the top of the 7th inning. Looks like the Mustangs are sticking with the big first baseman. Chris Dinwiddie steps in to face Trey Holloway.
Of the
3 outs from Titletown.
Of the 3 hits Trey has given up, 2 have come to hitters that will come to the plate in this inning. So he has to stay on his toes here.
Dinwiddie is grounded to Will Swint twice, as Glenn has said already. The first pitch from Trey. Dinwiddie looks at for strike 1. Trey Holloway looking for that 2nd ring this year. 1 in football. Another ground ball to Will Swint. Does that surprise anyone?
No,
He picks it up and fires to first baseman Heath Chambers and gets Dinwiddie by 2 steps.
That's 1 away, and Drew Holbert, who's 1 for 2 this afternoon. He struck out in the 3rd inning and singled to right field in leading off the 5th inning. That was the inning that Trey really had to work. He had runners 2nd and 3rd and nobody out and got out of it.
That's right, Glenn. Here comes Drew Holbert, the left fielder, standing in to face Trey Holloway, the Booneville ace. First pitch looks good, inside and tight. Strike 1. Crowd behind the Booneville dugout getting more lively. 2 outs.
They're standing in the first 2 rows. Make that the first 3 rows.
Oh, the pitch gets away from Holloway. And it had Holbert doing the 2-step in the batter's box. I thought it might have hit him. I guess it bounced first.
He's probably wishing it had now.
1 ball and 1 strike on Drew Holbert. Holloway has the ball. Here's his pitch. Holbert sends a solid shot to the left fielder, who's right there. Right there, a line drive right at the left fielder, Brad West. He might have moved 2 steps to his left for that ball. Didn't lose it, not 1 bit.
And here is our thorn.
So there are 2 outs now in the top of the 7th inning. The Booneville Bearcats 1 out away from getting sized for rings. And here stands in the second baseman, Matt Staggs. As Glenn said, a thorn in the side of the Booneville Bearcats. Holloway ready to work quickly. Fires the first pitch.
Trey
Strike
has set
one.
down 8 in a row since the Stag single.
The entire crowd behind the third base dugout on their feet. Here's Holloway's second pitch. Another strike. Off speed. Surely he called that a strike.
No, he did not. I'm afraid not.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Looked awful good from here. Yep, he's holding up a 1 on each hand.
Holloway is working quickly now. A ground ball to the third baseman, Jeremiah Dupree, makes a perfect throw.
Tagged him.
It pulled Heath Chambers off the bag,
Tagged
but
him.
you're not going to run over Heath Chambers, who makes the tag.
And he got the worst end
The
of that deal.
Mustang is laying there, but the ball game is over as the Booneville Bearcats have beaten the Central Arkansas Christian Mustangs
and there is a
2-1
pile on the field. And
for their
unfortunately, a
first
pile
ever
around Mr.
championship
Stagg.
in baseball. Glenn, what were you going to say?
I'm sorry, I said Mr. Stagg is hurt. He did not get the best end of that collision.
No,
And
you're not going to run over Heath Chambers.
Heath, the throw pulled him off the bag, but Heath come off and tagged the young man, and like I said, he's going over to check on him. There was nothing to that. He's just trying to make the last out of the game, and Aubrey's going with him.
Coach Dale Mann also there to check on Mr. Staggs as he still remains down. Coach Jerry Laird is there.
That my photographer / wife is getting some of this.
Someone is calling Glenn now. Again, that number is 264. Oh, I'm sorry, Glenn. I'll not give out the rest of that. The Bearcats are celebrating on the field their first ever state championship in baseball. This has just been an amazing year for some of these Booneville Bearcat players. They've gotten a ring, state champions in football, now state champions in baseball.
I guess we could do the final line while we're waiting. For the Bearcats, 2 runs, 3 hits. There was 1 error. The win goes to Trey Holloway. That'll make him 12-1 for the season. And for Central Arkansas Christian, the dethroned champions of a year ago, 1 run, 3 hits, 4 errors. The pitcher was Adam Harbin. He went the route, and we'll take the loss. We hope that Mr. Stagg is all right, of course.
Yes, he is still down over there in foul ground at first base. The entire Booneville team is seated about 20 feet away on one knee.
He must be getting up.
Mr.
The fans
Staggs is sitting up now. The Booneville team is they are all applauding. We certainly hope that he is fine. Matt Staggs.
I see Kevin Taylor going down to talk to Coach Mann, I'm sure. He's a writer from the Southwest Times Record. And they've given the Bearcats good coverage. Of course, I think there's a little better coverage at home, but I wonder why I think that.
And Matt Staggs stands up and begins to walk it off. The entire Booneville team and crowd all applauding as the two teams begin exchanging congratulations. There is a new champion in town, and they are the Booneville Bearcats. Perhaps getting a reputation in the 4-3A conference as
And like I said earlier,
title town.
that makes the District 4 3 for 3. Or 3 for the 4, however you want to look at it.
The basketball coming
No, I mean Scranton is the District 4A, won the single A title earlier this morning. Lavaca from District 4 AA won the AA title right before this game. And now Booneville from District 4 AAA has won the AAA title. The west side of the state will not get a sweep as Malvern and Nettleton. Well, Malvern, I guess you could claim as a west. Plays Nettleton next, and Russellville will go against Pine Bluff later tonight. So from Russellville over, you could have 4 state champions.
Well, Glenn, quite a few of these ball players, I think we are already aware of their ring sizes from the football season, are we not?
Yeah, I think that, you know, all they have to do is a little paperwork. They'll need no measuring sticks.
Central Arkansas Christian, our state runner-up.
I talked to riders from Charleston and Lavaca. We're up here covering the Golden Arrows. He said, you know, it's amazing. We thought of the three of us coming up here that you guys had the best shot at winning one. And I said, did you see who they're playing? He said, yeah, but did you see who Lavaca was playing? I said, yeah, and I'd rather take my chances with the Rector as CAC, but congratulations to the Arrows as well. And like I said, I'm happy that the titles are all staying on this side of the state.
Well, it was a phenomenal ball game. The Mustangs of Central Arkansas Christian, as Glenn said earlier, have won 4 titles since 1990. The Booneville Bearcats, who got Coach Dale Mann to revitalize the baseball program at Booneville. Was that 95, Glenn?
No, it's 1990.
1990. The program had been dormant since 1982. And the Bearcats
Trey
now
Holloway's being named the MVP.
Have their first state title in baseball.
Trey Holloway was just named the MVP of today's game. No doubt of the entire tournament. He ends up this tournament 3-0 with a save. He pitches 23 innings, gives up 8 hits. It's a pretty good line.
Struck out 9 today, didn't he, Glenn?
Yes, he did. And set down the last 9 in a row he faced. Boy, after he got the first 2 on in the 5th inning, he just turned it on. He comes out, strikes out the 9-hitter, strikes out the leadoff hitter, gets a fly out ball to end that inning, get out of the danger. Then it was just go to work. I'm sure he would have appreciated one more run, but as it turned out, he really didn't need it. Stacy, what time is this replayed?
Well, Jeremiah Dupree might not have batted in this game, but he certainly figured in its outcome as he made a clean effort on the ground ball to third. He came up throwing, fired to Heath Chambers, who was pulled slightly off the bag and right into the path of Matt Staggs, the runner. They collide. Staggs goes down. He's all right. Chambers celebrates as well as the rest of the Bearcats. Your final score again, Bearcats 2, Mustangs 1.
This game will be rebroadcast at 7 p.m. tonight. This is Saturday, May the 12th, and on Sunday, May the 13th at 7 p.m. as well. Final thoughts?
Final thoughts? That'll do it here from Paz Television. That's Parrish and Zarlingo, in case you're curious. We had a good time. We do hope to come back next season.
Yes, we did.
Or any other time we're asked to participate. Hello, Booneville. Goodbye, Fayetteville.